Okay, I've got Liam down for a nap. Hopefully he naps long enough for me to make a little bit of yogurt. So I've got this lovely, I'm not doing goat milk yogurt this time. That is what I normally make, and you can follow the same exact recipe and make goat milk yogurt. Any kind of milk that's not ultra pasteurized will work. But what I have is this lovely, you see that? That is colostrum from a Jersey cow. I have a very nice husband, and he works at a sheep dairy that makes sheep cheese. They also have a couple of cows for some sheep-cow combination milks that they use for certain cheeses. Anyway, long story short, they had a new baby born, and they weren't expecting it, and they had a lot of extra milk, and it was too much milk to use for the pigs even. So he was able to take home a gallon for me. So that's really special and lucky, and lots of good stuff about colostrum. There's a lot of healthy benefits. So instead of making cheese with it, or which would kill a lot of the benefits in it, I decided that I would make yogurt because that's a low temperature that won't kill anything. So we're gonna see. So what you do is you pour your milk into a stainless steel pot, and then you bring the temperature of that milk up to 180 degrees. Now, my mother would say you do not need a thermometer to make yogurt, Rose, but I use a thermometer because I get distracted easily. So I do set my thermometer. It's a digital thermometer. I use it for all my cheese making and everything. And so I set that metal end into my pan, and I let it hang in there, and I can adjust it so a timer will go off. I can adjust the temperature settings up and down, so a timer will go off when it is too hot or too cold even. So it works for a lot of different things. So good thermometer to have around the kitchen if you're making a lot of different things. So anyway, I'm trying to be quiet while the baby's sleeping and hurry up and get this done. So I'm gonna try to shake this up because you see that cream layer on top. Fresh raw cow milk always has a nice cream layer, but colostrum's even thicker, and it's denser, and it's darker, and just full of way more good stuff. So I'm gonna shake it up and then add it to my pot and turn my heat on medium and bring it up to 180 degrees. So I've got my temperature up to 110 degrees, and then I'm going to add my starter culture. For me this time I'm using Stonyfield, and you have to make sure when you're picking out a yogurt, if you don't have a culture, to get one that says live active cultures in the ingredients. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different live active cultures in it. So and plus I just trust Stonyfield Organics. It's the kind of yogurt we buy when we buy our own yogurt. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons per quart. So I've got a little over 4 quarts here because I had another jar that had a little colostrum in it. And so I'm doing the whole container, and that should be plenty. That's what I usually buy, is one of these size single servings for a gallon of milk. So it should be plenty to do it. So I like to let the temperature of the milk come back down to about 90 degrees before I add the yogurt. And while I'm doing that, I turn on my oven to like 250, and I've got my jars being rinsed out in hot water and making sure that they're not too wet inside and that they're kind of warmed up when I add the stuff. So I'm going to work on getting those jars warm and drip dried. You know, I don't want water puddled in the bottom of them. Then I am going to pour that After I whisk in the culture into the milk, I'm going to pour it into the jars and turn the oven off. Let the oven cool down a little bit and then put it into the oven. Now the oven is not going to be too hot. It's going to be warm. Just warm enough that it's going to hold the temperature at a warmer temperature than it normally would be. Alright, so I've got my jars all washed out with warm water. You could do this in the dishwasher if you have time and you plan ahead. My milk is cooled down and I'm going to add my yogurt culture now. So I just poured that whole part in, the whole container in, and I'm just going to whisk it to make sure it's distributed all the way through. I'm going to take my thermometer out. And as soon as my oven beeped that it was preheated, I turned it off. So it's been off for a few minutes now while I was letting this cool down. It's not that I want my oven to be hot, I just want it to be warm. That way when I put my jars in there to culture, they will culture nicely. So I just make sure it's really distributed all the way through. And I love my whisk that my kids got me for Christmas. It's been great. I love, see, it's coated, so you never get that rusty buildup on the tip like the old-fashioned kind. And it's just perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my jars over and get my canning funnel out. And I'm going to carefully, hopefully not spill too much, pour all my yummy yogurt culture into here. And we should have some delicious yogurt to eat tomorrow. I like to let it sit for, I don't know, 6 to 12 hours in the oven, to keep it warm and cultured for a while. Depending on how tangy you like it, the longer you leave it, the tangier it'll get. So I'm going to change over to that. So you might be wondering why I use pint jars instead of quart. I normally use quart, but I seem to be on a quart jar shortage. I think I've sold too many of them with my goat milk. And Rowan really wants me to build him something, so I'm going to put these lids on, put it in the oven, and forget about it for the next 6 to 12 hours. So we might take a jar out tonight if we get adventurous and want to try it early. But that is it. It's that simple. And you can flavor it afterwards if you like different flavors. We like honey. Just straight honey and yogurt. That's one of our favorite. Or you can add a spoonful of homemade jam or anything you like. And it'll be delicious. And homemade and healthy. So here they go. I'm going to cover them with another towel just to keep them incubated and cozy and warm, and hold that nice warmness in. The oven is off. I would not be putting towels in the oven if it were on. Oops. So there they go. Good night, babies. See you in 6 to 12 hours. Alright.
What's that?
The yogurt is cultured all night long.
All the yogurt?
Yeah, that's all yogurt.
Whoa,
Wait till you see this. We've already sampled the jar. It's warm still.
I want to drink it.
And, oh, Liam does. He says, I want it. Give it to me. The boys love it. They give it a big thumbs up. Can you give me a thumbs up, Rowan? All right. This is amazing. The cream actually settled out on the top like it does in some of the whole milk yogurts you buy in the store. And it's like this dense layer of nice, rich colostrum cream. And then, as you see, perfect gelled consistency. Wonderful yogurt. Ryan is really excited that I was out of quart jars and then I have these pint jars because he says he's going to take it to work with him so he can eat it at work. Very excited. So the other jar I stirred that rich cream all the way in and added honey. So I think I'm going to do that again and put this one in the fridge. So I got the boys to be quiet and I added some honey and stirring that in, and I'm going to put it in the fridge, and it should refrigerate for about 6 hours to get even more set up. Do you see why he's crying? He wants more. All this rich, beautiful goodness gets to go in the fridge now for approximately 6 hours. And then it should be even more set up and firm. So, as you saw, it was already a very nice consistency. So I would say this is a very successful batch of yogurt. Colostrum or goat milk or whatever you have to make your yogurt with, whatever milk you have, as long as it's not ultra pasteurized. Sorry, Liam's asking for more.